Hey, I don't hear any audio, but I see you dancing all quiet there. So let's see if you move a pot up or something, because we'll just pretend that we're bopping to some beats and, you know, boom, 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 boom,
Oh,
boom,
I'm
something.
hearing it in my head.
Okay, well, you hear the voices too,
Yeah,
because
the voices talk to me. The
we ain't
voices tell
hearing
me
nothing.
we've had some technical difficulties this evening,
We
folks.
ain't hearing nothing. But hey,
Are you
if
hearing
you're
me?
If you're out there, yes, I am hearing you. If you're out there
Okay.
sitting at a bus stop, bop your head like there's music, and welcome to Caching in the Northwest.
Folks, this is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific. They call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here all around the globe. So while you're waiting for the barista to remake your drink for the third time, we'll
Mm.
be caching in the Northwest.
Yeah, it's tough to get that drink just right. It's also tough, apparently, to get the music working. But hey, we got Princess Trouble here to talk about the WSGA GeoTours here tonight. So we're going to press on without the intro music. You know, it's okay. Live audience, jump in and tell us what you think about the Sans Music show tonight.
It's kind of like a live, an unplugged event.
Yeah, except there's no echo.
Yeah, we had that.
We had
And
that.
no, that, yeah.
Okay. Well, before we jump into the GeoTours topic, we are going to take just a moment for a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of all of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. Thanks to Land Sharks. They're one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. There are new store hours, it says at the Sharks store, as they adjust to some staffing changes. They're Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So if you're up in Esquimalt on the weekends, yeah, you may not be able to visit inside the store, but swing by because there's a cool cache out in front.
Yes, there is. And that's open 24/7.
That's right.
Well,
You,
it's not open, but
yeah,
it's there.
you can check out all of the Sharks wares and offerings at landsharkswithaz.ca. And we'd like to thank our other corporate Denali level sponsor. That's Gold Country Geotourism. You can visit exploregoldcountry.com and learn more about the geotours and the regions and the app and all that stuff. Download the app, learn all about the geotours and the region of Gold Country. You can visit exploregoldcountry.com or facebook.com/exploregoldcountry. And if you would like to know more about supporting this show, maybe making some theme music work or something, I don't know, click the Patreon link. It's over there on the cashingnw.com website.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, it wasn't a land monkey read, but you know, anything that broke, it's his fault tonight.
That's right. Exactly. And we're without a chat lackey as well. So, folks, we're going to get to the hashtag we want you to use in just a little bit, but you're going to have to be patient with those hashtags. Maybe put them in there a time or two so we see them all. But right now, it's time. Now, Princess Trouble, some say it's time for the glow. And others ask, what is the glow?
What is the glow?
Oh, thank you. The glow is the geocaching log of the week. I'm hearing feedback. So whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. Now, you can send an email or a recording right there on that very smartphone you hold in your hand to feedback@cashingnw.com. You can call into 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow.
That's right. And let's see. Tonight's glow was sent in from MNerve. Dora Moore asked, what is the glow? She would know. She's the creator and originator of the glow. This was sent in by MNerve for Blakely Rock Cache. That's a traditional geocache at GC Alpha Bravo 556. And let's see. The log reads, this morning, I had a pre-planned kayak trip to Blake Island. It was planned with me 19482 and Zanaski. But earlier in the week, they had both messaged me asking if I had seen this new cache that had just published on Blakely Rock. I checked it out and messaged them back that we could do it. All week we waited for Saturday morning, watching the cache, dreading a found it log. This morning we assembled at Rockaway Beach Park and put in the water. Immediately we saw a harbor seal up close to the kayaks, and then off a bit some harbor porpoises. Blakely Rock was a mile distant and everything was going great. Good weather, calm weather, and a low -1 tide in 1 hour. We landed on the shell beach exposed by the low tide and made our way to the rocks above the high water mark. Found a crazy benchmark and then the cache container. Clean log sheet for our joint FTF, and then we got to spend some time enjoying the scenery. Off to the north was a barely submerged reef with some seals hanging out on it. To the east was Seattle and 7 seals sunning themselves on the rock. Not many people can say they've been on Blakely Rock. Of course, it gets a favorite.
Wits End, I want to say, saying to the east was Seattle and 7 seals sunning themselves. Really well done. That's
Seriously.
superb, one might say.
Uh,
But folks, if you want to, UDAC wants to know, where can we mail in the clothes? Well, you can email them to feedback@cachingnw.com. But UDAC, why don't you record that glow right there on your smartphone and then email us that recording at feedback@cachingnw.com, and I'll play that, and you don't have to hear one of us talk.
yeah, you don't have to listen to me. So that's a good thing. You don't have to listen to Chris. It sounds like he might even be on the wrong microphone tonight with all of the troubles we had, because you're just a little more hollow than normal, but maybe not. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's just the fact that Land Monkey's not here and we can blame something else on Brylang.
I think we should blame it on both of them. In
Okay.
fact, I had a picture up for them. Let's
You
see if
did. It's not up now.
I
though.
know, and then I lost it. Let's see.
Okay, well, while you're looking for it, I'll mention that. Oh, there it is.
In case you
Coming up.
want to see how unfocused they are tonight.
Yeah,
This was the selfie they sent earlier.
they're very out of focus.
Mhm.
They lack focus in their lives.
There you go. So anyway, that's enough of them.
Yes.
Now, back to us. If you want to add into tonight's conversation, and folks, you always do. You do such a great job for us. Use the hashtag tour to add to something to tonight's chat. And of course, you can use the hashtag FITAS to bring up anything in the after show.
Absolutely. And eventually we'll get it all typed in there so that we can put it up on the screens for those people that are watching the video.
Oh,
'Cause
nice.
We're just slow without a chat lackey. We are blaming him for everything.
Yeah, that's right. We have become spoiled with a chat lackey, that we can focus on content and other things just happen in the background automagically.
All right. Well, hey, we've quickly run through the intros and the patrons and the glow, and here we are already at the topic for the night. We're talking about the WSGA GeoTours, because there's more than one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Princess Trouble, for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
We are
I'm
glad
glad
you're
to be here.
Yeah. Let's jump right back to the planning stages, back before these things were out there. What inspired the WSGA to create this GeoTour, or these, was it 7 GeoTours?
7 GeoTours.
And how do you choose? I mean, it's hard enough to choose locations for one GeoTour, I would think. To choose 7 of them, okay, it's a big state, you got room, but how do you choose all those locations and themes for 7 GeoTours?
It started with us, WSGA, coming up on their 20th anniversary of WSGA being in existence. And that was in 2022. And they had a discussion within the board of how to celebrate this, event, because it's a big deal for, a fully volunteer organization to be around for 20 years and be successful for 20 years. And it was brought up that maybe we should do another GeoTour like we did in 2013 in conjunction with the Washington State Parks when we were celebrating their 100 years of having Washington State Parks. We partnered with them. And the board of WSGA decided, yes, this is what we want to do. We like the GeoTour. Let's do that again. And then it was like, well, okay, how do we do this? And it was discussed that we would, instead of doing just one great big one for the state, that we would break it down and do it into 7 of them based on the different chapters of the WSGA. There are 7 chapters. So there are 7 unique GeoTours that people can go find up. Well, there are 20 caches in each of the 7 GeoTours. So there's a possibility of 140 caches, right? That's 7 times, 20. I want to make sure my math's right on my head.
You did math in your head. I'm so proud.
Well done.
And, it gives a lot of opportunity for a lot of different caches. We asked our members to help us with this. And a lot of the members stepped up and said, yes, we want to be part of this, with the commitment that they were going to need to, find the location, place the cache, and then keep it maintained for the extent of the GeoTour.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they've done for us. And so they went out and found places that were unique to the area, to where they were at, to help share our beautiful state.
Nice.
And there's a lot to be seen out in this beautiful state.
Oh boy. East to west, north to south, this state is so varied in terrain and diversity that it really is quite amazing.
Yes.
So, Princess Trouble, I realize we didn't talk about you.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I jumped right into the GeoTour and I thought,
jumped right in. We don't even know who you are.
I don't know who I am either. So we're all good.
So let's make up some history for Princess Trouble this evening. Just go ahead and toss that in the chat and we'll just say this is what she's done. No, that can get you in trouble.
You can go ahead and make it up.
Well, actually wouldn't get you in more trouble than you've already gotten yourself into.
That's really hard.
Now, we are going to say you are the current vice president of the WSGA.
I am the current vice president of the WSGA.
And you've been geocaching for what, like 45 years now?
Something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember what year I started. I started shortly after my husband started. That's all I remember. Well,
UDAC, who's from California, says that Princess Trouble is well known.
Well known. I
just want to let you know, you're known outside the borders of the state.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
Well, I've made a lot of friends through geocaching, and a lot of them outside of the United States. I go to mega events, 2 in particular, and so when I've met a lot of people within those that go to those 2 mega events, and have made friendships through that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing it long enough that I've stepped up to host 4 mega events.
Nice.
I think
in
so.
3 states. Yeah. Why
all
do
on the same weekend? I mean, that's how incredible she is. So. Well, I think it's well known. You were part of the team that brought Geo Woodstock to Washington in 2008.
Yes.
So now you've done a GeoCoin Fest or 2?
I've done the GeoCoin Fest that was in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I did the GeoCoin Fest that was called Seattle, but it was actually in Issaquah.
Right. I was at that one. I didn't go to the one in Vegas.
And then I helped a lot, like they gave me hosting titles for the Geo Woodstock in Denver.
Right. I was going to say the 14er.
Yes, the 14er.
I can't find it. I've got that huge coaster size coin.
Yes. That's a huge coin they did.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you're well known in the geocaching community. You're still contributing to the geocaching community through the WSGA.
Yes.
And you're a pretty good person on top of that. So there's Princess Trouble.
Thank you. Without the tier, I was worried it might glitter too much.
Okay. You're not wearing your crown.
No, I was worried it might, shine on, and blind people. So
It's a tiara. Put it on me.
Exactly.
Well, I see lots of people in the chat are already talking about the tour. Let's see, CRS98 is going to finish the Cascadia GeoTour this Saturday with a geocaching road trip with J-Car and the Winter Trio. So safe travels and have fun out there.
I would think that's 5 people in a car, right?
you would think.
I would think you can get in the carpool lane with that group.
There you go.
Seabeck Tribe says she's completed 4 out of 7 tours, 104 out of 140 caches.
Wow.
That means that she's covered about 5,050 miles this summer, seen some great state diversity. And she also commented that it was great to see 2 of the 3 people on our screen last weekend. So yes, I saw you in person in Walla Walla, along with Princess Trouble. We blamed everything there on Chris.
Yes, we did.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, we didn't. Not everything.
You should have.
Some of it we blamed on Quads in the Mud because he was there.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Back to... Wow. You guys
where were we?
I don't know. I'm just trying to avoid any more blame. Now, Princess Trouble, getting back to the GeoTours, since there are 7 of them, how long did it take you to plan and develop this? I mean, 7 GeoTours at the same time, that's a huge amount. 140 caches all across the state, hundreds of geocachers to help you. What were some of the biggest challenges to this?
Well, when we started this, when the words were coming out of what to do, it was 2021. Knowing that in 2022 we were going to be hitting that milestone, and we really wanted to have the kickoff closer to the actual date of the actual anniversary date of WSGA. But as Murphy's Law, likes to take over our lives on occasion, when you're trying to plan something this big, things happen. People have got, obstacles that come up in their lives, in their personal lives, that couldn't get these caches out placed in time, because we wanted to kick all 7 GeoTours off at the same time. We didn't want to say, Inland Empire, you get to kick off before everybody else. We wanted all of them to do the exact same time. So it ended up that we weren't able to kick it off until late October of 2022, which is fine. It still was in 2022.
Yeah.
And still celebrating the 20-year anniversary of WSGA. It's coordinating that many people and getting that many cache containers out there and making sure everyone had the code words that are in every one of those caches, so that you can earn your the coins that we offer to the people who complete 3 of the 7 GeoTours, with finding at least 18 of the 20 in each of those 3. You can earn a geocoin. If you do all 7, you can earn a second geocoin. 18 of the 20 in all 7.
All 7.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But to earn the souvenirs, you need to complete all 20 in each GeoTour.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, one for each chapter.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
What that does is that gives you a little leeway, right? If a cache or 2 is missing when you've made that trip over, you can still complete 18 out of 20 geocaches within a chapter and get move forward to get that first geocoin.
Right. Because, just like, these are just caches. They're not anything, they don't have a brick wall around them protecting them.
Well, some do.
well,
Mine does now. Literally a brick wall.
Okay, well, sometimes they do, but most of them do not have brick walls around them.
But it's
to
not a
protect
requirement.
them from the elements, from muggles, from the animals. They don't, and occasionally something will happen to one of them, and it may not be there when you go find it.
Mm-hmm.
But we've given you that little bit of grace to still be able to earn that coin.
Exactly. The only reason I say that is my geocache went missing last week, and I went out this weekend and re-hit it. And oddly enough, where I re-hit it, there was a bunch of bricks that had washed up. It's on the shore there. So I actually built a little brick house. Now you've got that song in your head, don't you? It's in a brick house.
Is it Mighty Mighty?
It's mighty.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I've been asked many times, and in fact, that's why, Princess Trouble, I wanted you on the podcast this week for tonight. How much longer do our good listeners and geocachers around the country have to find and complete these GeoTours?
The GeoTour originally was for 1 year, and it was set to expire on October 28th of 2023, which is just in like 8 days, 9 days now.
Yeah.
But at our last board meeting, after lots of discussion, we have decided to extend it for 1 more year. So now the new end date, and I just signed the contract at the beginning of this week, so it's a done deal, is October 29th of 2024. So you have 1 more year and 10 days to plus a leap year day, so 11 days.
Oh, there you go.
Giving you
more time to go complete as many of these GeoTours as you can.
Trexer is excited to hear the news.
Yeah.
Extension. So that's why we wanted to have you on, to let everybody know you've got another year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now you've got a chance to get out and do this. Go get those caches found, earn those souvenirs, earn those coins, and travel around our great state.
Yes, because we love seeing that people are doing this.
Mm-hmm. Well, like CRS 98. Current stats are 112 finds with 4 regions completed. Oddly, the region I live in, 48 North, isn't one of them. I have to say the same. I've completed regions, not the one I live in, though. It's like, oh, it's here. I'll go get it when I get it.
Right.
Well, and I've only completed 1 region, but it is the region I live in. So
that's because I came over to do the region.
That is true. That's because Chris came over and we said, let's just do this. Yeah. Komokino has completed 3 areas, so I guess that means he gets a coin, huh?
Yeah.
And here's a bonus for you people that are trying to fill in county maps. One of the GeoTours helped him to get caches he needed in the upper eastern counties to get cache finds in those counties. So bonus for that.
I was going to say, I've heard of people doing county challenges and city challenges while doing the GeoTour.
Mm-hmm.
We were just Wits End, Land Monkey and I were looking at our Washington state map and saying, we need to meet up. Where do we all need to go? And it's those 2 eastern corners of the state that we both need.
Yeah.
Right? Northeast, southeast.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also need southwest, but I'm a slacker.
Dora Moore goes, sorry, my caching to do a little longer.
Yes, but you have another year to do it.
And an extra day thrown in at no
That's
extra
right.
cost. Now how much would you
Bonus day.
Bonus day.
Oh,
Just
how about
gets
this?
Better and better.
The cows, the
Cool
cow
cow
catchers. Thank you. We received all 7 souvenirs, or we've earned all 7 souvenirs, and received our dusk coin in the mail today.
Awesome.
So fantastic.
That is great.
All right.
So
So
there you
you've talked about hearing feedback, and kind of. Can you give us any examples of that? And also on that note, what do you hope participants will gain from completing the GeoTour and getting around this great state?
Well, I think it's one of the things that we've touched on is, what the part for what we hope people gain is that they get to see this great state.
Yeah.
And to take them, one of the things I've always loved about geocaching is because the people who place the caches usually live in that area, and they're trying to show me someplace that is off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping that that's something that people will gain out of this, is they get to see things off the beaten path of what if you were to go to, Spokane. There are the Spokane, the highlights of Spokane, but that's what everyone sees.
Yeah.
Geocaching hopefully is going to take you to that off the beaten path place.
Yeah.
And that's part of what we, are hoping for, to show the diverse, from the mountains to the oceans to the deserts of this state.
Yeah, because things are different in different regions.
Yes.
As Komokino mentioned, there are hardly any tree stump heights when you get to southeastern Washington. I said, yeah, it's all sagebrush here.
There are hardly any trees when you get to southeastern Washington.
I was caching this weekend with friends from out of town, and I looked at the hint for a cache, and it says under sagebrush. I'm like, really? That's like every cache in this area under sagebrush. But yes.
Well, or when they say it's you have to know the area, because when they say a traditional hide, well, a traditional hide on our side of the state,
right,
which Chris and I both live on the same side, is generally like a stump.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a traditional hide over here. But when you're over in the other side of the state, try and find a stump. When they say a traditional hide, that's not what it is.
No, it could be a sagebrush. It could be a pile of rocks. I mean, you get to ground zero over here and you go, a stump. Great. I see 7 right here without even having to look hard. So, that doesn't tell me anything.
The one with the moss on it. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, that one. They all have moss on them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go figure.
So that's a lot of what, to open their viewing or their eyes. I want to say open their eyes to more than just what their area is about. That's why we wanted it to be all over this, the state, is to show you, that there's a difference. And some people never leave their area. So, this is a way to help encourage you to see the rest of what our beautiful state has got. How many people can say they go to, that they take a ferry, to go and you have to take, if you want to finish the 48 North, you have to take a ferry or take a boat of some kind.
Or swim.
Well, yeah, if you want.
It's cold.
I
It's
suppose.
very cold. And just make sure you hold that GPS up high so it doesn't get wet.
I'll stick to the ferry. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, someone who lives in Spokane or Walla Walla, they don't deal with the ferries. They may have never been on a ferry if they've never been over to this side of the state. Here's an opportunity to do that.
Edward says, we have a lot of hidden gems in Spokane. Spokane is a beautiful area.
It is.
And I will say, when I went with Wits End and we did the South Central region, we went to some areas. In fact, Seebeck Tribe says, I suggest reading the pages for guidance to get a cache that may be out in the rural areas. We went to some areas without cell phone coverage, right out by the river. It was beautiful. And, luckily we had enough information to figure out to get the cache, even though there wasn't cell coverage and we didn't think about, downloading.
Download your Pocket Queries before you go, folks.
Yeah. Do that. And maps too. That will really help.
Yeah.
But it gets you out in different areas and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, my cache got muggled. I don't know if you can tell. I'm bitter about this.
I'm sorry.
Because there was like a 500-pound rock on top of it, and now it's gone. Okay. Somebody just doesn't come and move a 500-pound rock.
Apparently somebody did.
I was going to say someone did.
Apparently I'm caching wrong if I think a 500-pound rock is immovable. But how are you, and when I say you, I mean the WSGA, are ensuring the caches are maintained and kept in good condition, especially for some of those in the remote areas, that may take an hour or two drive to get to?
The people who place the caches are WSGA members, and for the most part, we've asked them to keep track of, keep their caches well maintained. If they need logbooks replaced, please replace logbooks. If the cache goes missing, like Chris's, go replace it, because your cache, if you remove it, and if you don't fix it in Puget Sound, because we'll just pick on Chris, that it's he hangs his head, that if he didn't replace that, now there's only 19 caches available in the Puget Sound to find, and in order to say that you have completed it, you have to do 18 of those.
Yeah.
Now we're down to one.
Right.
That you can't,
your buffer drops to one. Yeah.
Yeah. And
no souvenir for you.
And, if there are multiple Chris problems, we're going to call them your problems, that happen in one chapter, it could make it so that no one can complete it. Right. So we're very much relying on our WSGA members to take care of this. If we end up, we have gone as the club and replaced some caches because someone has said, hey, I can't get to it. So we went to someone that was in the local area and said, hey, can you replace this cache for us so that we can get it back up and running? And here's the word that goes in it, and to make it all work so that we can get it back as an active cache. If we hear about a problem, we do everything we can to resolve the problem, get the cache back up so that people can complete this.
Nice. I have to disagree with CRS 98. He says of the 140 caches in the state, only Chris of the Northwest cache seem to be missing at the moment. I updated it today. So it's back in.
Well, that was the only one that was missing today or this weekend.
It was still marked this morning as not as disabled. So, but
thanks for doing cache maintenance.
You're welcome. And Princess Trouble, we invited you on the podcast. It's not pick on Chris night.
Oh,
okay. No, it's pick on Land Monkey night. He's not here.
Wait a second. You told me it was pick on Chris night.
Yeah, I told you not to tell him that, though.
Oh.
He figured it out on his own.
Well, but see, he set himself up. So.
Oh yeah. Cool Cow Cacher says we actually did take a ferry when we completed our Cascadian chapter tour.
Oh.
Nice.
Very cool. And let's see, IHAM also had a cache issue, had to get a replacement container for their GeoTour cache. It was only out of play for about a week. Mm-hmm. So it does happen, but
as I said, they're just like every other cache out there.
Yeah.
There can be problems, and we just ask that you bear with us while we try and fix those problems.
Right.
We apologize for that happening, but we can't control everything.
And there's a lot of great geocaches.
That's just not the way the world works.
Right.
Control's a good thing as long as Princess Trouble has it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of great caches out there in the WSGA and friends of and their areas, and great to get them out there to do cache maintenance, keep them all up and running so we can all get out and enjoy it.
Yes.
How have you have local cachers and visitors responded, and what have you heard from them?
We've heard just wonderful, reviews, if you want to call it that, of people, saying they've enjoyed it. even if they're just completing one chapter, they're liking it because it's showing them different parts of even just that region of the state. We have had, where's my numbers? I didn't write those in the notes. We've had 500 and, well, what I had to do was take, because each GeoTour, the statistics come for each GeoTour. So I took the statistics of all of them, combined them, and then averaged them out. So these numbers I'm giving are kind of an average for all 7 GeoTours. On the average, we've had 575 unique accounts, found logs of 2,843, 2,843, found logs on the average per GeoTour.
Wow. Okay.
Now, some are higher. I mean,
Right.
you know, as I said, that's an average number. So some chapters have higher, some chapters have
Yeah.
lowers, but it was just, that was the easiest way for me to come up with
Right.
a,
So on the
I know.
average, 2,800 finds per GeoTour.
yes,
Wow. Okay. That's impressive.
Yeah.
which to me, those are impressive numbers for,
Yeah.
and we aren't even, I mean, we still have got, you know, as I said, you know, 8 days to be finished with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
On the
our-
original schedule. Yeah, for sure.
Right. For 1 year, that's a pretty good number. And I anticipate that, you know, doubling it, I don't know, but we should be getting quite a few more because people are going to be excited to know that we've extended a year, and they know they need to get out there. And if they want to complete it, they need to do
Yeah.
it,
Right.
because
Right.
we will not be extending it another year after 2024.
Nice. So out of all the chapters, what chapter has the most visitors, most found caches?
As strange as this might sound, Southwest chapter right today has the most. Now, if you ask that question in July, it was Puget Sound.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So it changes. I mean, let's see. In the Southwest chapter, there has been 3,094 logs compared to Puget Sound, which is at 2,919.
That's because my cache was down for a week. So
That's what it was.
That's-
Totally.
Yeah, it's all,
Yeah.
again, Chris.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I brought it on myself. I wasn't supposed to mention that. I'll go out and put 7 names on the log just to, you know,
Okay, you do that.
get things back in
So,
the way it should be.
You know, Southwest chapter, why those numbers are the highest?
And CRS 98 hasn't been there. That's the one he
Yeah.
really needs to visit. 18 caches in that chapter.
Okay. Well, you'll be in good company when you get down there and cache that. A lot
Yeah.
of people have been down there.
It'll just pump up those numbers even more.
Exactly. Nice.
And that's been a lot of people down there coming over from Portland, Oregon, and coming
Yeah.
up into that area.
Coming over from Idaho.
Well, Southwest is a little bit of a trip from there, but yes.
Closer to
Idaho,
the
they'd be
Puget
going
Sound.
South Central probably.
Yeah. Oh, Southwest. Sorry. I was
Southwest.
still thinking South Central.
Yeah.
Even though I read that as Southwest. Sorry. That didn't click in my brain.
Yeah, I gave it to population's a factor too, but
That's true. GSM times 2 says it's good that you extended it a year. It's a significant challenge.
It is. And that is one of the reasons that we extended it, is we realized that this was not something that the majority of people could complete in a year.
yeah,
Just with life's challenges of everyday things.
yeah,
And so some people needed some more time.
Mhm.
And we had people, when we were at the camp out that WSGA had in
August?
August. Yeah, August, I think, is when we had it. We had people say, please extend it because I need, I'm planning a trip in, I can't get out to Inland Empire until, early November, because life is just not allowing it. And that's my last chapter I need. And so those were some of the things we took into consideration.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you've got to cover thousands of miles to get all these caches.
Yeah, well, as Seebeck tribe said, she has done over 5,000 miles.
Right. Yeah.
Now, it's not all been for the GeoTour, but she's done GeoTours on the way. So, yeah. It now you could probably get all the caches in a GeoTour in one of the 7 in a weekend without much struggle. 20 caches in a weekend, that's not too bad.
Right.
But trying to fit all that in, no, you're not going to get this done quickly.
Right.
Komakino says this challenge was tough due to all the locations and the distances you have to travel just to clear 3 areas.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So, there's some work involved, and we have seen that people here in the Northwest enjoy a challenge like this. They're going to go out, they're going to do it.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a really good question. And, we kind of alluded to it, but I don't know if we said it directly there, Princess Trouble. UDAC says, does extending the tour mean that the organizers had to pay GCHQ for another year?
Yes.
Yes. So the Washington State Geocaching Association had to pay for 7 GeoTours for another year.
Yes. So if you're wondering where some of your dues money goes to, it went to extending this GeoTour for another year.
Well, I think most people are happy that you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine after, putting together 7, not just 1, 7's really being an overachiever. You probably learned a little bit. Do you have any advice that you would give to others that say, hey, I'd like to make a GeoTour? What are some of the key factors that somebody needs to consider when you're going to plan and implement a successful GeoTour like your 7 successful GeoTours?
Some of the things that you would want to take into consideration is the area that you want to cover. How much ground do you want your participants to cover in this GeoTour? It's always good to have a theme or a focus of it.
Celebration.
Yeah, for us, it was the celebration. I've been on GeoTours where it was going to donut shops.
Mm-hmm. I did that one.
Yeah.
In Ohio.
Yeah, in Ohio, we did the donut shop one. There's the one that's, there's some in Canada that are, just showing off different areas of Canada. But you need to figure out what it is you're wanting this GeoTour to do, because that's the big piece of it. I think the more interesting places that you can take people, the more likely people will go to it because they want to see what you're sharing.
Mm-hmm.
It's setting up, putting an event together to do as a kickoff, because us geocachers, we like our events. We like to get together and see each other. So that's another piece of it, helping to find people to help place your caches,
and
whether
maintain
they
them for
are,
the life of the GeoTour.
Yeah, and then making sure that they understand that they've made a commitment for the length of time that you're doing the GeoTour. It's not like you get to place it and then walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be there for it. Hopefully it stays and is perfectly fine, but as some people find out, that's just not the way it happens.
You could hide it under a 500-pound rock and it may not be enough.
I wasn't going to say that. I was trying to be nice.
I got a rock.
And then there's the financial cost of doing the GeoTours. They're, HQ, geocaching HQ, there's a fee for it. And part of that fee is, they help advertise on it and they put it on their website. And, and the things that, and rightfully so, it's using their space, but you need to figure out how to finance this. We were lucky to work with the Port of Seattle for the first year of ours, and they helped us with the financing for the first year. They aren't helping us with the second year, which is fine, but we appreciate the first year. The financing also includes possibly getting coins. They're not required, but to some people that's an enticing piece of it, is to get to be able to earn a coin.
Geocachers like shiny things.
They do. They like shiny things. So
coins are big motivators. I mean,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
go out and do caches all the time to get coins. So
they do.
now
So those
I
are all-
want to specify the Port of Seattle also includes the airport.
Yes.
So with that, people flying in or, just moving in and around the state of Washington is a bonus for all of that. So,
Right.
yeah, there are different funding sources available. You're going to have to look to see what you can find in your area. But those sources are available to help nonprofits, especially if they're going to bring tourism into the area.
Yes.
So,
if it's someone looking to do something like this, up.
There you go. UDEC says, as a tourist, I appreciate knowing how much time is involved and if staying overnight is recommended or required.
It's not required. I think sometimes, depending on the location, it's going to be recommended.
Yeah.
I personally, I can go cache for, 8 hours, 9 hours, but I'm not real thrilled about driving home
Right afterwards.
after that, especially if it's going, I'm in 48 North. If I have to go to the Southwest chapter, I don't want to go find, 10 caches down there to then turn around and drive home to have to drive back there again
Yeah.
to find another 10 caches.
Right.
I personally would just, if I was doing that, find a hotel out there and stay the night. But
yeah, for us to get to the Southwest or Northeast corners are about 5-6 hours.
right.
So it's a trip. I mean, yes, you could on a long summer day, you may be able to go out, drive down there early in the morning, get the caches, drive back. That's a long day, and I would not suggest that. You're going to be tired. Don't drive tired, folks.
Yeah.
We want to see you at events. We don't want to hold an event because of you.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's as I said, not required, but depending on how you're playing the game, possibly recommended.
Yeah, I think Seebeck Tribe says you have to stay overnight when doing this tour due to how spread out it is. If you have enough drivers and you're willing to, take shifts, possibly not, but I would highly suggest it.
Right.
For one, but for all 7?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Komakino says South Central could probably be done in 9 hours.
Yeah. I would agree.
Okay.
Edward, I'm sorry, Edward, I don't know your geocaching handle, but he plans to make a motorcycle tour out of it next summer.
That would
So
be fun.
there you go. I mean, if we extended the tour just for Edward, it was worth it.
Yep. There you go.
So I think we've talked a little bit about some of the data that HQ provides on GeoTours. They actually have really interesting and detailed stats on each GeoTour, like how many accounts founded and how many logs found or entered and such. So you told us some of the recent data. Is there any other interesting facts in that data that maybe you can share?
Hold one moment. Let me look at my paper.
In the meantime, I'll go to UDAC and says, expect to perform more maintenance. Oh, expect to perform more maintenance than expected. At least on mine, yes, I didn't expect to
Yeah.
have to do it. But, it happened at the 1 year mark. A cache being out for 1 year in a public area, that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Some don't make it that long. Some make it for years and years and years. But, yeah, maintenance is expected if you own a cache. It doesn't matter if it's a GeoTour cache or not.
Here's an interesting piece of data. The Southwest chapter has had the most visitors by country.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They've had 12 different countries represented in their finds,
Wow.
compared to the other chapters that range from 3 to 8.
That's interesting. I would think, Puget Sound, that's the chapter I'm in. That's where Tacoma and Seattle is, right? 2 very large cities.
And that's where SeaTac is.
And with the airport in between them, I think
Yeah.
we get more international visitors in our chapter than that. What do I know?
No. I think that's an interesting piece of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
Portland feels like a foreign country sometimes, so maybe that
does it.
helps to contribute.
And maybe it's because the Southwest, maybe they're coming from Portland mainly, that they've gone into Portland instead of flying into SeaTac, and they are coming up that way. I don't know. But we've got Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Austria, Belgium, France, Mexico, Norway, Switzerland, UK.
IHAM says you have to go through the Southwest chapter to get from GCHQ to the original stash.
True.
So, and CRS 98 says that too. Perhaps those folks are driving between HQ and the original stash, as a guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and maybe I haven't looked to see exactly where those caches are, but maybe some of them are closer to the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Driving.
Yeah. Good thought.
Closer to I-5, driving back,
Easy, quick access.
Right.
Easy through access, like Cle Elum used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't looked at them, so I don't know where exactly those caches are. So it's just a thought.
Nice. Well, Princess Trouble, thank you for taking the time this evening. We know it's past your bedtime. And to share all this information about the WSGA GeoTours, all 7 of them, with our folks tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome, and it was a pleasure being here tonight.
And I want to thank the WSGA for renewing these 7 GeoTours for another year to give the people a chance. From what we've just heard tonight in our very small sampling, people seem to be excited about that.
Very much.
So
we're happy for it too.
Now, I know you probably don't want anybody reaching out and talking to you, but if people wanted to, what's the best way for them to do it?
The best way to reach me is at vp@wsgaonline.org.
You got it. That was the right address.
Is that the right one?
Yeah.
I'm like, which one does he want me to give today?
Whichever one you want to get email at.
Well, they all end up on my phone, so I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. There's one of 17 addresses you could use to get hold of Princess Trouble today.
Yeah, or through the HQ messaging system, look for Princess Trouble. I'm the only one.
Trust me, you're the only one we need.
And it's spelled just like it says right there.
Okay.
Seebeck Tribe says, thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, we're glad you were here.
And folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. We hope you enjoyed it.
I know I did. And since we're thanking everybody, I'd like to take a moment to thank Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism. They are our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. They do ship online orders daily. And of course, for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com.
Thank you. And we want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Land Sharks, Gold Country Geotourism, Groovy Owl, Cool Cow Cachers, and Cashly, the geocaching app. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website, like Limax did.
And Acrodoc.
And Kid Vegas 19.
CRS 98.
How about Segehove?
But Trexer.
MC3 Cats.
Boomer 365.
Seaback Tribe, traveling all over the state.
Yeah. UDAC.
BC Rockcrawler.
B Pendragon.
Wino Seattle.
Mountain Bike.
Alarobrick.
Flagman.
LG 9000.
J-Car.
GeoNav Pro.
Doramore.
M-Nerve.
Geocaches.
Subway Mark.
Skyhawker.
Just finding our way.
Genies.
Just Carlo.
Logwork.
Team Noltex.
GSM ×2.
Our newest, Nervous Energies.
The Camp Clan. Korsgat.
Gas Station Tuna.
Green Words.
Ari 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Antaeus.
Kev MacD.
RAR 285.
Wet Coaster.
Peach of Washington.
And of course, you Talks to Rocks.
Thanks to all of them.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for joining us tonight.
And CRS 98 is channeling Brylang, saying if you hit the thumbs up if you like the episode.
All right.
And we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. But if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review. Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would leave a tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. And of course, you can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or give us a ride to get sent to some of these geotours any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Again, UDAC, that's feedback@cashingnw.com. And of course, you can join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. And right now, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show.
the after show, which you can't hear, probably because I muted it.
Let's see.
Did you hear that one?
Nope.
No. Okay, well then.
That's why I chimed in.
I tried to do it again. Let's see. I didn't see any FATAS.
No, there's a ton of great chat. I was going to say,
Edward's a ham like you are.
Yep,
Edward.
KC7DQM, so 73 from W7ZND.
Princess Trouble, those words mean something.
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure what they are, but they mean
I'm
something.
thinking that's his caching name.
Yes,
Yes, that's his caching name, and then
it's
then
also
Wit's End
his
reply.
ham radio handle, ham radio
Well,
pulse name.
okay, if you say so.
Oh.
I don't
Yeah.
do radio.
I don't see any FATAS. So, with that, folks, thank you so much, and until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.